In today's economic storm, people's retirement accounts are being devastated. Consumers are searching for a safe place to put their money. Are you feeling the same? If you are, please get ready to listen and learn about a new concept that will give you financial security and peace of mind. Now, here is the host of Become the Banker, certified financial planner and award-winning author, Joseph Quijano.
Well, good morning. Good morning, fellow listeners. How are you today? I want you to know that this is going to be a fantastic show because we're going to be talking about where people put their money and how they should protect their money, especially in today's economic meltdown. I don't know how you feel about the economy today, but, talking to a lot of people on a daily basis, they are fearful because they just don't know how the economy is going to work out in the future. This pandemic that we are in the middle of, it's ruining everything. It's ruining all the products that used to work before. It's ruining all the strategies that used to work before. So I have to tell you that, please, we have to start thinking out of the box. We need to do something that is totally out of the box, something that could actually give us the opportunity to grow the money that we have and protect it at the same time. And today's show, we're going to be talking about a couple of things. The 3 buckets of money. I believe, without a doubt, that everybody has 3 buckets of money. Now, I want you to imagine the buckets right in front of you. And the first bucket, we're going to put a title to it. It's going to be pre-tax. Money that has not been taxed yet. Now, unfortunately, this pre-tax bucket of money is actually the biggest bucket that people have today. The biggest bucket. Think about that. So that means if you have a 401k or a retirement plan or an IRA, that's where people have most of their money. So this bucket, by all means, it is the biggest bucket in the financial world for most people. Now, what they don't realize, what most people do not realize, is actually that this bucket eventually is going to be taxed. So you put money in to that bucket or to the products in that bucket. Again, there could be a pension plan. It could be a 401k. It could be an IRA. Any retirement account that goes into that bucket, the money has not been taxed. So that means that it will grow without being taxed. But when you actually begin taking money out of that bucket, you're going to be paying a tremendous tax. Who knows what the tax brackets will be 5, 6, 10 years from now, especially with what's going on with the economy right now. I mean, who's going to know about this trillions of millions of dollars that that the governments are giving their citizens to survive this pandemic? How do you think they're going to pay for it? Through taxes. So they're counting on your biggest bucket of money to make up for those losses, to make up for the taxes that haven't been paid on that money. So it's a pre-tax bucket. It's the biggest bucket that most people have. And at this time, I want to welcome Jordan here. Jordan, are you with us?
Yes, I am here.
Oh, good.
Can you hear me okay?
Good.
Perfect.
Everything is fine. Yeah, I can hear you perfectly. Just want to let the listeners know that we are a certified financial planning firm. We're Colorado-based. We do business on a national basis, and we are family-owned. So my son, Jordan, is with us today, and we're talking about the 3 buckets of money. And like I said, the first bucket is the biggest bucket that most people have. So just imagine a huge bucket. And this is where all the products that we just talked about, the retirement accounts, go into that bucket. The money has not been taxed. So it's going to grow tax deferred. Then at the end, when you're ready to take money out, you're going to be paying a heavy, heavy, heavy tax. Think about it like this. Let's assume that you build that bucket to $1 million, right, Jordan? $1 million. And
Right.
when you're ready to retire, or when you're ready to start drawing money out of the bucket, you're going to say, I want to get 10%. A 10% out of $1 million would be very, very helpful to help us retire the way that we planned, the way that we dreamed. So 10% of $1 million a year would be $100,000. That would be a phenomenal retirement income stream, wouldn't it?
It would be.
However, that's, if you take taxes into consideration, most people pay at least 28 to 30%. So let's say 30% will pay the taxes. It could be higher, but let's say 30%. 30% from 100,000 will leave you with only $70,000. Is that going to make a difference, you think, Jordan, in people's retirement?
Yeah, it absolutely will. Yeah, they're not going to have as much to live off of.
Right. I mean, they're going to lose $30,000 to taxes. Now, that's not only happening when you retire, but let's say that you pass away. And most of us want to leave a legacy. Most of us would like to have our children or loved ones get a bucket of money, right? But guess what happens? When that happens, the money has not been taxed. So before your loved ones will get this bucket of money, the government will tax it at the rate of 30 to 50%. So you would lose 1/3 to 1/2 of that bucket of money that was planned to go to your loved ones if you pass away. So that bucket, unfortunately, is the biggest bucket of money that people have today. So let's talk about the second bucket. Go ahead, Jordan. You want to talk about the second bucket?
Oh, yeah, that's fine if you like. The second bucket here, as you would call, would be going to be our after-tax buckets. This is a bucket that we take all of our income and pay taxes on and keep in a savings account. And afterwards, you may earn a little bit of money on it, and you still pay capital gains on it thereafter. This could be real estate. This could be individual stocks, bonds, mutual funds that you have long-term capital gains again, which is 16%, better than ordinary income, but still going to lose money to taxes. So with this bucket, it is good to have some of that money built up into this account and not have all of your money in the pre-tax bucket, but you need to have after tax, and that's what this bucket is doing. This is that tax managed, and this is where you're going to be able to help offset some of those taxes. Now, for the third bucket, how about you, Joseph? Why don't you take that one away?
Yeah, no, I think actually Jordan, explained the tax managed bucket really well. But unfortunately, if you look at the buckets and right there in front of you, just close your eyes and imagine 3 buckets. Okay, the first one's a huge bucket. That is the pre-tax bucket. That's where most people put all their money in. And unfortunately, that bucket will be taxed heavily when you take money out. The middle bucket, which is the tax managed bucket, is not as big as the pre-tax bucket. That tax managed bucket, like my son Jordan said, it is really where your real estate, your individual stocks, bonds, your brokerage accounts will go into. Savings accounts will go there. CDs from the bank will go there. And the way that is taxed It's really on capital gains. So that means that when you sell a property, you are going to pay capital gains. So what is the advantage of that over the first bucket? Less taxes. You see, the pre-tax bucket will be taxed as ordinary income. The tax-managed bucket is taxed as capital gains. And here in the U.S., it's actually that, the tax bracket for capital gains is only 16%, while the income tax brackets are close to over 30%. So wouldn't you rather put more money into a tax-managed bucket instead of the pre-tax bucket? So the third and final bucket that most people have money in, and some people don't even have this bucket, by the way, but people who do have it, it's actually the smallest bucket. It's called the tax-free bucket of money. And this is where your life insurance products go into. But not just any type of life insurance. You see, life insurance has a very, very special treatment. It's tax-free. So that means that according to the IRS and the U.S. over here, the tax-free bucket of money that contains life insurance will be totally tax-free. It's almost like a loophole that has not been closed by the government. You know why? Because they all have it. I'm talking about every single president has used the tax-free bucket of money of life insurance to shelter money. Everybody in Congress and the Senate, they have this bucket. So that means that the wealthy have known about the three buckets of money, and they have used life insurance as a shelter and called it the tax-free bucket of money. So think about that. The wealthy, if you look at their portfolios, their biggest bucket has never been a pre-tax bucket. If you look at history, you will see that their biggest bucket of money that the wealthy have and have had in the past, it has been the tax-free bucket of money. So I want you to visualize that. I want you to visualize not having the smallest bucket, making it the biggest bucket. But you have to be able to choose the right life insurance policy that will actually give you the capacity to shelter money. Think about it like that. You're sheltering money into a tax-free account approved by the U.S. government. How good is that? My gosh. And then if you happen to pass away, let's say, that bucket goes directly to your loved ones without any tax, period. No tax at all. It's tax-free. And then, if you retire, or when you retire, you can begin to draw an income out of the bucket, absolutely tax-free. Now, remember the scenario that I was talking to you about? We're going to go back to the scenario here shortly because we're getting pretty close to the first break. But the scenario that we were talking about was that the biggest bucket is a pre-tax bucket. And if you grew it to $1 million and you wanted to take 10% out of that bucket every year, you would lose like 30 to 40 to almost 50% in taxes. So, we're going to talk to you after the break, about how the tax-free bucket can really make up that difference. That difference, that means that the tax-free bucket will make up the difference on what you're paying in taxes. What do you think, Jordan?
fantastic. So let's keep on telling the viewers how we can do this, and we'll come back right from this break.
If what you thought to be true about money turned out not to be true, when would you like to know about it? Most of us have been taught wrong about money either by our family or friends. Our school system does not have any curriculum to teach us how money really works and how to make our money grow without risk in any economy. By tuning into Become the Banker radio show with certified financial planner Joseph Quijano, you'll learn the truth about money and strategies to help you grow your money without risk. Are you ready to thrive financially in the economy? Listen for Become the Banker radio show every Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is Become the Banker radio show with certified financial planner Joseph Quijano. To participate in today's show, call in the U.S. 815-880-8255, Canada 613-800-8736, or Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. You could also ask to comment by email to joseph@becomethebanker.org or text to 303-880-0887.
Well, thank you so much for tuning in with us again, please. And we're so proud to be part of the network over here. And we were just talking before the break about the three buckets of money. To recap, we have the pre-tax bucket, a tax-managed bucket, and a tax-free bucket. Now, unfortunately, most people have the pre-tax bucket to be their biggest bucket of money, and they're going to be taxed. So we share with you a little bit about the tax impact that this bucket will have on your retirement. If you grow the bucket to $1 million and you want to take 10% a year to survive and retire like in your dreams, you would lose 30% to taxes. So that means that instead of netting $100,000 a year to live on, you're going to actually net $70,000. $30,000 will go to the government. So by building, like the wealthy have done in the past, by building the smallest bucket to be your biggest bucket of money, by building your tax-free bucket to be the biggest bucket in your portfolio, you do it with life insurance. Because life insurance, it's a miracle. It truly, truly is. It's a total miracle. It is the only thing, the only product that I know, and I've been doing this for the last 47 years, but I'm going to tell you, it is the only product that I know that is totally tax-free. And most people think that you buy life insurance in case you die, which is true. It has a death benefit. But the wealthy bought it not only for the death benefit. They bought a very specific policy as an investment. Why? Because it is the only thing approved by the government that is totally tax-free. So, assume that you grow this bucket to a certain dollar amount that you are going to be able to pull out upon your retirement $30,000 a year. Now, by doing that, by growing your bucket and pulling out an income that will give you $30,000 a year, for an example, you can actually make up the difference of what you paid in taxes and have your $100,000. You get $70,000 from your pre-tax bucket plus $30,000 from your tax-free bucket. 70 plus 30 equals $100,000. Now you have $100,000 to survive and to thrive during your retirement. So to me, it is important to have 3 buckets of money. You have to be diversified. You have to have different buckets. But don't put all your eggs. Don't put all your eggs in the bucket that you're going to be taxed the worst. Just let me give you an example here before we change the subject to the secret of the wealthy and continue with the buckets. You see, if you're a farmer, if you were a farmer, I'm going to ask you one question. Would you rather pay taxes on the seed that you're planting, or would you like to pay taxes on the harvest? Would you rather pay taxes on the seed that you're planting today, or pay taxes on the harvest? Now, the first bucket of money, the pre-tax bucket, you're not paying taxes on the seed. You're not paying taxes on the money that you're contributing into that bucket. Those are your retirement accounts. But when your account grows and grows and grows and grows, you are going to be paying taxes on the harvest, which is the biggest portion. Think about that. Now, if you had a tax-free bucket, you would actually pay taxes on the seed, because the money that you contribute into that bucket has already been taxed. So you'll be paying taxes on the seed, not the harvest. Because when that bucket grows and grows and grows and grows, you can actually take out the money tax-free. The harvest will be tax-free. So that makes a lot of sense to me. As a financial planner, that third bucket that contains life insurance really, truly makes a lot of sense. It's a perfect investment because it's safe, tax-free, and you can pass it on tax-free to your loved ones. I mean, how good is that? Ladies and gentlemen, how good is that? But most people don't really understand life insurance. And they actually think that it's only for the death benefit. But the wealthy have used it to maximize their wealth, to maximize their money, and minimize any risk at all, any risk of losing it. So, we're talking about the secret of the wealthy at this point with the 3 buckets of money. That's number one. Number two is they use products. See, I believe that creating wealth doesn't need to be complicated. It does not need to be complicated. I think a lot of people in today's world, we make creating wealth too complex, too complicated. If you actually Google some of the most prominent and wealthy families in the world, they used very, very, very simple strategies, simple products that offered the potential for gain, but not losses. And they wanted to keep their money either tax deferred or tax free. So that's one of the secrets of the wealthy. And Jordan, why don't you go ahead and explain to the listeners, the guaranteed retirement account that we have.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for the account that is pre-taxed, for the account that
Hey, Jordan?
most people, yes,
I
can
guess
you hear me?
it's not there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to definitely
Can you not hear me?
do that. The wealthy wanted to keep their money safe.
If what you thought to be true about money turned out not to be true, when would you like to know about it? Most of us have been taught wrong about money either by our family or friends. Our school system does not have any curriculum to teach us how money really works and how to make our money grow without risk in any economy. By tuning into Become the Banker radio show with certified financial planner Joseph Quijano, you'll learn the truth about money and strategies to help you grow your money without risk. Are you ready to thrive financially in the economy? Listen for Become the Banker radio show every Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific.
Investments hit all-time lows, except for Become the Banker. Do you know how much money was lost in those accounts? Not one penny. Become the Banker is a safe, guaranteed return of 4% plus a 1% dividend. In a nutshell, you overfund life insurance on purpose to build a tax-sheltered cash account for retirement and for loaning to yourself along the way and not losing to the stock market. BecomeTheBanker.org. You owe it to yourself to go to the next seminar. BecomeTheBanker.org. Who's laughing now?
This is Become the Banker radio show with certified financial planner Joseph Quijano. To participate in today's show, call in the U.S. 815-880-8255, Canada 613-800-8736, or Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. You could also ask to comment by email to joseph@becomethebanker.org or text to 303-880-0887.
Hello, folks. This is Jordan Quijano coming back here. Looks like we were having just a little technical difficulty there, but I want to thank you all for listening in here again while we get Joseph back on the line here. But getting back to the points of talking about building that wealth that is the pre-tax bucket. This is the money that has all that risk, like my father mentioned, the 401k money, the IRA money, the money that people have to pay ordinary income tax on and lose that 30%, that is the account that needs to be protected. So for anybody that has
it would put
that risk is going to be losing that money, and this is where this strategy really focuses on building that money with no risk. No risk at all. And so for people who have the 401k money and do not want to lose any of it, they're able to roll it over into what we call the guaranteed retirement pension. The guaranteed retirement pension. Why we call it this is it's guaranteed. You can never lose money with it. Has nothing to do with the stock market. Now, the companies that promote this have been around for hundreds of years, and they found a way to really work with the indexes. You choose what the best index is, whether it's the S&P 500, whether it's the Dow Jones, the NASDAQ, and we help you with that. But typically the S&P 500 is the safest, least volatile index because you're working with the top 500 companies of the U.S. That is what the Standard & Poor's 500 means. It's the top 500 U.S. companies that have multiple sectors, whether it's banking, technology, automobile, healthcare, and they all make up these 500 companies that create the S&P 500 index. So for this product, this guaranteed retirement pension, if you have anything wrong with your 401ks being invested, directly into the markets, because you're going to lose money not only with the volatility, but you're going to lose money in taxes. Well, with this beautiful bucket, you're able to protect it and make sure that you never lose a dollar going forward due to a market decline. So these guaranteed pensions will allow the account to grow, earn interest, and when the market crashes, the account stays level. So let's use an example here. If you have $100,000, you invest it in the market, and all of a sudden, the market grows, and you're going to grow it to 115 or 120,000, and then the market crashes, like in 2001, 2002, we had the dot-com era. Well, guess what? Your market stays at that 120,000. You don't go back down to 100 or below 100 like you would in a 401k or an IRA, that traditional pre-tax bucket. Then the market recovers. You're not starting at 100,000 again. You're starting at 120. So the market grows from 120 to 125 to 130, 135, and then all of a sudden the market crashes again. Now your account stays level and you're staying at 135,000 if you were in this guaranteed retirement pension plan that we offer. That's the protection we want you to have. To protect that money, to never lose any dollars in the volatility of the stock market, to protect as much as you can from taxes, and on top of that, it gives you a pension. We wouldn't just call it a guaranteed retirement pension if it didn't give you a pension for the rest of your life. So for that to be the case, you're going to get a paycheck until the day you pass away, all the way up to the rest of your life, unlike the 401k, unlike the IRA, where no matter what that account's grown to, when you start pulling money off of that, if it's $500,000 and you're pulling $50,000 a year, after 10 years, that money's gone. And you better hope that you have enough money built up in Social Security or any other retirement stream of income to help carry you through the rest of retirement. Otherwise, you're going to be forced back into work. And I think this is one of the biggest fears we all face. Did we set enough money aside for retirement? So again, this guaranteed retirement pension protects you not only from the stock market volatility of never losing money, but it guarantees you an income for the rest of your life, which this is how that protects really that pre-tax bucket, that first bucket, which is your 401ks, IRAs, or any stock market account. Now, Joseph, you're back out here, correct?
I am.
Perfect. You want to talk a little bit about the tax-free buckets and kind of carry you away with to become the banker?
Yeah, basically, I think we talked about the tax-free bucket of money, but the whole idea, that the wealthy have done in the past is actually they have actually made their smallest bucket, that used to be the tax-free bucket of money that contains life insurance, their biggest bucket because of the tax element that they wanted to pay less in taxes. So when my son was talking to you about the guaranteed retirement account and all the benefits that account has, this is where people are actually finding the security. They're finding the safety that people are needing today worldwide. Listen, there's something about worldwide. People are fearful of the stock market at this point, and we open up the show with that. We don't know what the economy is going to do. We don't know what this pandemic. I mean, here in the United States, the numbers are surging all over again. Cases are being discovered more and more and more. This is fearful. They're thinking about another total shutdown here. Of the restaurants, the bars, the nail salons. The complete economy is going to falter. It's already been faltering, but it's going to falter even more. So what are people doing? They're staying in the stock market. The market is going to crash. I can tell you that right now. Most of the economists that I speak to on a regular basis, they know that the market is in for a huge, huge correction. And people who keep their money there, they're going to lose the majority of it. And that's sad. So people need to have a place to put their money into that's going to be guaranteed, no matter what. That you're not going to lose anything. And secondly, they want to be able to build a tax-free bucket of money. So when they retire, or when people begin to draw money from that account, they're going to be able to get an income tax-free stream of income. Now, how good is that? You put the two products together, the guaranteed retirement account, plus the Become the Banker life insurance policy, and guess what? You have a phenomenal financial plan. A phenomenal financial plan with absolutely zero danger of losing any money. I mean, that to me is very, very, very important for my clients. You see, I think we talked about my history a little bit, but, I came from an economically disadvantaged circumstances in Mexico City, where you actually had to know people to get ahead financially. Jobs, careers are not as plentiful over there as they are any place else in the world. So to me, since I didn't have any money to begin with, keeping my money safe was of primary importance. And I carry that same philosophy today for my clients. I mean, I don't want to lose any money, so I certainly do not want to have my clients lose any money whatsoever at all. So, Jordan, are you still with us?
Yes, yep, I'm right here. You
Okay.
said it best.
Okay, so you may want to talk a little bit about how to use that, that bucket of money, that tax-free bucket of money. How are people really? What are the benefits that people are getting, not only from the retirement account that we have, which is the safety, but what are the benefits? I mean, what has actually happened? I mean, you have had a lot of clients call you, and they say what the wonderful benefits have been of the way that you have helped them. So, why don't you share that with the listeners, please?
Correct. Yeah, definitely. I think, just as much as we were sharing with you shortly ago was just to have that protection of the money. I mean, this is what that guaranteed retirement pension does, and also the Become the Banker tax-free account does. It gives you that protection of any market decline. Your money's never going to drop, and you're always going to continue to earn money on top of your account, no matter what the circumstances are of what the economy is doing. So for a lot of the clients we have, they've been just delighted these last years that we've seen market corrections and the market's been going up, and then the market comes down because of coronavirus and people are losing their jobs, and it's just absolutely sad and terrifying to have the uncertainty of knowing if you're going to walk into your job on Monday, whether it be virtual or not, or if you're going to be furloughed by Friday, and knowing that you might not have a job on Friday, you might be let go, you might be laid off. I mean, that is the real fear that people are facing in today's economy. Is not only just the stock market recession that's nearing us still. I mean, we had a little glimpse of it come the early beginning of this year with the market taking a little bit of a tumble due to the coronavirus. But with that, not only with that, that was just a glimpse, because I think we're still held up with superficial funds right now that's inflating our market due to the stimulus. So we have to have really a correction in the market still that I think is going to happen. But aside from that, the other fear is people might not have a job, and this is why a lot of our clients have been so happy, because with the Become the Banker program, it's liquid. They can use it now, and with a lot of people who faced the job loss because of the coronavirus, they were able to still pay their bills, still pay their mortgage, still be able to pay their rent, keep food in their mouths by using the Become the Banker strategy, because the money's liquid. They can take it out now. And once they get back on their feet, once they get a job, they can pay themselves back. That's peace of mind, knowing that you have an emergency fund always tucked away for an emergency, no matter what the circumstance may be. But it's also making you money, unlike the bank is, where it's earning you absolutely nothing. So that to me is the most that I've heard recently from my clients, is just the protection of knowing they can't lose any market money due to the stock market volatility, and they have access to it because of the uncertain times that we're in right now. They need to have that liquidity. So Joseph, go ahead and take it away if you don't mind.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I think you said it really, really well, Jordan. And one thing I do want to mention is that a lot of people have actually reached out to us, and they want to know how we can help them. How can they find out more? How they can do an individual meeting? How can we do a virtual meeting, to talk about this wonderful strategies and powerful to safeguard their money? And just to let you know is that we're available, to actually do webinars with you. We are available to do phone consultations with you. And I know some of the listeners are in Canada, and I know there's good companies in Canada that offer some policies that are like for the Become the Banker strategy. So I can guide you with that. But all you got to do is go to our website, and it's really simple. Just go to www.becomethebanker.org. Becomethebanker.org. And you will see a wealth of information. A wealth of information on that website. And you can also request a meeting, either a virtual meeting or even a telephone consultation. So we can explain to you, guide you, take you by the hand, and help you grow the bucket that it should be the biggest bucket in your bucket of money, which is the tax-free bucket. And we can help you make that possible for you. So please go to becomethebanker.org and request a consultation with us, either through a computer so you can see the numbers, or just a telephone consultation. It will pay dividends for you to do that. Now, one more point I want to make, and that is we have an excellent YouTube channel. Please go to YouTube and search for Become the Banker. Become the Banker. I want you to please subscribe to that channel. Subscribe to the channel, like it. We have a ton of videos so you can see on the concept. You can also, look at the different testimonials that we have from our clients all over the nation. So go to YouTube, search for Become the Banker, and join us. Please join us, because we have a series of videos, and this last series is phenomenal. We're actually filming them in my backyard. We have a fire pit, and we call them the Fireside Chats with Become the Banker. So we have a total of 7 new videos explaining this wonderful concepts right there. And if you want to just subscribe to the channel, please, and like us, you're going to get a lot of benefits from that. So again, it's becomethebanker.org and YouTube. The search for Become the Banker, and you will not be disappointed. You're going to be getting a wealth of information. You're going to get so much financial education, and this is what people need today. We've been taught wrong about money, listeners. We've been taught wrong about money, and the things that worked in the past are not working anymore. The stock market is not working. Savings accounts at the banks are not working. So you have to think out of the box, like I said at the very beginning of the show. Think out of the box and begin to actually get ahead and protect your money. Now, almost ready for the third break. So what I'd like to do, I would like to share with you a little topic that we're going to be talking about coming up. And it's going to be some statistics from the United States government as to why people fail financially. So stay tuned, and we'll be with you next break here. Okay? Thank you.
If what you thought to be true about money turned out not to be true, When would you like to know about it? Most of us have been taught wrong about money either by our family or friends. Our school system does not have any curriculum to teach us how money really works and how to make our money grow without risk in any economy. By tuning into Become the Banker radio show with certified financial planner Joseph Quijano, you'll learn the truth about money and strategies to help you grow your money without risk. Are you ready to thrive financially in the economy? Listen for Become the Banker radio show every Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific.
Hello, I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino. For years, I've been telling you about a safe, secure investment that you can do for as little as $200 a month. Earnings grow tax-free. And better than that, during this recent stock market crash, they did not lose a penny. Even though investments hit all-time lows, those involved in Become the Banker are still earning their guaranteed return of 4% tax-free plus a 1% dividend. Isn't it time you at least investigate and possibly become the banker yourself? In a nutshell, you overfund life insurance on purpose to build tax-sheltered cash for retirement and for loaning to yourself for life's needs and pleasures, college, credit card debt, a mortgage. They can all be paid when you become the banker. Do yourself a favor. At least find out more. BecomeTheBanker.org. For the next webinar, that's BecomeTheBanker.org. And for a video review, BecomeTheBanker.info. It's time to take action and stop your losses. BecomeTheBanker.org.
This is Become the Banker radio show with certified financial planner Joseph Quijano. To participate in today's show, call in the U.S. 815-880-8255, Canada 613-800-8736, or Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. You can also ask to comment by email to joseph@becomethebanker.org or text to 303-880-0887.
Well, thank you so much, and welcome. Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. And like I said to you before we went on break, I'm going to share with you some revealing statistics as to why people are having such a time, getting truly ahead financially, or actually achieving total financial freedom. And this is so amazing what I'm going to share with you here. The United States government did a study, and they came up with this percentages that you need to take note. Of all the people, listen to this carefully, of all the people that were born the same year that you were born, by the time each one of those people turned retirement age, listen carefully, only one will be wealthy. I mean, I'm talking about major wealth, okay? Multi-millionaires, billionaires. Only 1% of all the people born the same year that you were born will become totally wealthy. And the definition of wealth is like multi-billionaires, okay? Only 1%. But here's the revealing numbers. Out of the same group of people that were born when you were born, 4% will only achieve financial independence. That means that they'll have different sources of income coming in, that they don't have to work. Only 4%, ladies and gentlemen. But 18% must continue to work past the age of retirement. Here in the United States, we have companies like Walmart, Target, Costco. And when you go to those places to shop, who are the greeters? They're senior citizens. They're working, not because they want to continue to work, but because they have to, you see? And that's the biggest problem, is they don't want to work, but they have to go to work. 18% of all the people that were born when you were born will have to continue working past retirement. Now, 37% will be either dead, disabled, or needing long-term care. And this is why I think it's so important for you to take note of this. The two accounts that we have that become the banker, which builds the tax-free bucket of money, and the guaranteed retirement contract that takes your money from the stock market and put it into a safe place that you can never lose it. Both of those products have a long-term care component. So if you ever need it to go to a nursing home, assisted living, or have somebody come to your home to take care of you, those two plans will help your family pay for your care. But 37% of the people that were born will be either dead, disabled, or needing long-term care. That's a huge risk at retirement. So the remaining 40% will have to rely on relatives, friends, or charity of the government for their support. What a bleak picture. So they're saying that only 1% of the people will be wealthy. 4% are financially independent, 4%. 18% must continue to work. 37% will be either dead, disabled, or needing long-term care, and the remaining 40%, listen to this, 40%, they have to rely on relatives, friends, or charity of the government for their support. Listeners, please, this is critical. What they're saying is that only 5% of the people that were born when we had the same year that you were born will become financially successful. The other 95% fail financially. And you see, people don't want to fail financially. So you know what happened to those people? They didn't plan to fail. Here's the key. They only failed to plan. And that is the problem. People don't plan to fail. They only fail to plan. So, Jordan, are you still there?
I am. I'm right here.
All right. So, you may want to maybe share with you how the two products actually help people not fail financially.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, what the key thing here to take away before we close out the show is really to look at how you can keep your buckets, as you mentioned, your 3 buckets balanced, how to keep it to a safe place to make sure that each one of the buckets you have currently are not losing money, that they're protected, they're making you money, and more so that they're giving you not only the benefits of protection from the stock market, but they're giving you the benefits of the protection of long-term care, like my father just mentioned. They're giving you a paycheck for the rest of your life, no matter how long you live, because that's the other important side to this, is making sure you have a paycheck for the rest of your life, no matter how long you live. That way, out of that statistic, you're closer to that 5% that make it financially successful versus the other 95% who don't plan to fail financially, but just like my father mentioned, they don't plan at all. And that's the sad reality, is that's what makes them fail in retirement. So most definitely protect your buckets, keep yourself safe, and I'm going to pass it back to you, Joseph, if you want to talk about the next show here.
Okay.
For next week.
Sounds great, Jordan. Thank you so much. And, we're getting close to half a minute left, but we really enjoy sharing this information with you. And again, go to our website, becomethebanker.org, go to YouTube, request any kind of information that you want from us, or just call in the show. We normally have people call us up all the time for advice. So this is your chance, and we're going to have a tremendous show. So we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you for choosing to listen to Become the Banker radio show. Certified financial planner Joseph Quijano will return next Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific. Until then, remember, rich people think like rich people. Poor people think like poor people.